ladies and gentlemen. It's Mr. Amos Kester. This is another follow-up video to the last one you saw. And of course, we've done some updating and some improvements on the goats farm. So you can see this is the goatery. The whole of this, where you keep goats, is usually called a goatery. Just like we have the cattle shed and so on. You have the rabbitry, so where you have these goats, we call them goatery. So this is the entrance to the goatery, and we have this raised. So you can see the goats have this whole area to play around, and they have on top this area to play around as well. We are not done with this part of it, so we're still going to put some guards so the goats don't fall off from this. Sometimes fighting can arise, so they don't fall off from here. So we are going to put some guards here, and these guards will also, more like rails, they will also form as the feeding platform for the goats. So the attendants can move in between here and put the feeds, which are browse plants or pasture grasses that will be harvested and brought to these goats for stall feeding. And during the daytime, they will be allowed to go out to browse and feed. Then when they come in, we still feed them. So the food we bring into the goat house to give to them, we call it stall feeding, which is confining and feeding the animals. So this is how it is designed so that the goats can actually, when they come down, okay, this is where they climb from. So they move up from here. When they move up from here, they can live on top here and feed on top as well. Then when they come down, they can also walk underneath it. So this gives it volume. So with this height, we have volume within this building. Assuming we don't raise it like this, they're all on the floor. This is the only area they will have. But because we have this floor and on top here, so we can actually stock at a slightly higher capacity. So that's what we've done. So we're going to raise rails on this part so that the animals don't fall off. So there will be a protection like this going around this part. So the animals can actually move in. Then if you look at it now, we have some holes in between the woods where we'll be sweeping off their droppings. Of course, the droppings of the snails. Sorry, goats rather. I think a lot of snail has been going through my head because I've been to two snail farms today actually. So the droppings from the goats comes out in form of pellets, so they can easily be swept down or rolled down from these holes in between the woods. So these are very strong woods and termite resistant woods that have been used, so they can last for 2-3 years before we talk of maintenance here. So that's the way it's been designed. So the goats will be roaming around on the ground and they climb from here, they go up. Now when anyone is pregnant, we move her to the kidding box. We have designed 5 kidding boxes. So the kidding boxes are designed in a way that when a goat is heavily pregnant and she is close to kidding, we move her into the kidding box. Probably 2 weeks to kidding, we prepare the kidding box and move her inside. So we're gonna have a straw on the floor of this skidding box and make sure that there is a good soft bedding for the young goats, which are the kids that will be produced. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So each of them is taking the same measurement. So the mother goats, or which the doe, will remain here with the kids for as much as 2 to 4 weeks before we allow them to go out. So during this period, the young ones must have made use of the valuable milk, which is the colostrum, in order to boost their system, the antibodies to be active in order to protect the young kids from disease. So this way you can manage the animals properly. They have full use of the first milk that comes out from the dam after she litters. That is after parturition. So that is why we've designed it this way. It's a small goat structure, but it has been intensively built in order to manage the animals properly. So these are the kidding boxes. If there's no pregnant animal, these places will remain locked. No animal goes inside there until we have a pregnant female that is close to parturition, close to giving birth. So they have this part of the floor to run with, and they have their step here to climb up to do other activities. So that's the way we've designed this one. So they can also go underneath this, run around, and come out. So we gave it a good ground clearance so that the foreman or the attendant can easily move in and also do some cleaning from under the ground. So that's the way we've designed it. So we're going to take you out now. This is an integrated system, or a mixed livestock system. So we're going to take you now to the other units we have here. A lot of persons have been asking how many plots do we have on this farm. From the last video, it's actually about five plots. That's what we have here. So now this is the poultry section, and we have two structures for the poultry. Initially we're thinking of using one for broiler and one for layer, but at the end of the day we came to the conclusion of having them for broilers. So we're looking at using another piece of land for the layers. So this is the way it has been designed. This is the doorway into the broilers section for one, and we have another one there. So we just demarcated it just in case we have two different sets of birds. Although there's also the idea to rear turkeys on the other side, according to the client. So that's why we left that little partition. So if it's desired, then we can take it up with a wire mesh in order to separate both structures, both birds. But obviously, this is designed for broiler production. So we'll take a look at the other one and we'll go from there. So this is a smartly built farm. It's a small place. You can see this is the space we have left. So we can carry out any other activity here. We can clean it up and do a few things. But for now, this is it. So all right, so this is the other building. You can see what is remaining for both buildings is the roofing. That's all that is left for us to do. So once we roof it, we net the sides, we are good to go after plastering it. So each of these buildings are measuring 30 feet by 100 feet. So they can each contain 3,500 birds, each of them. So that is what we have for the poultry. We are still very much a work in progress for the poultry here. We are almost 90% done with the goats, and we're about 60% done for the poultry. And for the snails, we are 100% done. What's remaining is just for us to stock it. So we didn't bother to plaster inside for this one, but sorry, outside, but the inside is plastered. So what's very important is the inside, not the outside. But you can also plaster outside if you have the resources, just to give your farm the aesthetic view that it desired or it needs. So this is where we'll be having the breeder snails. So bring in the breeders, we introduce them here. What's remaining? Okay, next week we'll be doing the soil treatment and also stocking it next week or the week after. So we are just sourcing a good soil for now. Once we are able to get that, we'll be doing the stocking immediately. So once they've started laying, the eggs will be incubated, and once they hatch, we'll move them into the greenhouse. So here is our water trench for the greenhouse. Many greenhouses come with water trench, but some do not have water trench. But it's not so much of a big deal because even this net is ant resistant. It's so tiny that even the tiniest of ants cannot penetrate it once you fasten it properly to the wall. But having the water trench is an added advantage to it. So that is why some greenhouses you discover there's no water trench, and why there's water trench in some of them. So that's just the reason. why they are that way. So this is the inside. Of course, you've seen it from the last video we made. You've seen what it looks like. We're still very much preparing this. The water system is what is holding it. So you can see this one, we installed the sprinklers above, just like we are trying to do now. And once we get the water tank raised, we'll be watering it. So that's it for the snail section. So we've gone through the goats, poultry, and snail. So finally, we look at the fish farm here. So last time we were talking about collecting the water here so we don't spoil this next. So in order to avoid this water spilling directly on the greenhouse, we had to use this to collect the water. So once it rains, it runs straight down. If we get to the end, you see the funnel there. And now these are the ponds. This one is empty, it has been treated, so you can see the bags of the poultry droppings that we've used for the treatment. Now these things help to kill the cement content of the pond, because after constructing your concrete pond, if you don't do this, you need to put in fresh leaves and droppings of poultry or dungs from other livestock in sack bags. Keep it inside the water for a period of 14 days. So it helps to treat the soil. The cement content is neutralized. And after that is done, we get a salt solution to wash off the whole system, the whole tank again, before introducing water for it, for the pond to be stocked. So if you come here now, you will see we still have this one filled up to the brim. So you can see the plantain leaves. These ones are fresh leaves, and we have the bags of the poultry droppings floating inside the ponds. So this is actually treatment, organic treatment. We are not using inorganic chemicals to do this. We are using organic materials to do the treatment. So that is what we are doing. So we've done the same for almost all of them. We have 6 ponds here, and each of these ponds will carry 2,000 fishes. So we are looking at stocking 12,000 fishes in this farm. So you can see the same thing is done here. Though it may be looking dark because we're running out of daylight. It's almost 6:30 to 7 already when we're doing this. So this is the inlet. Once you on it like this, the water flows in. So you can see the pressure is usually higher than this. It's just that they've reduced it since we don't have need for water right now. Okay, so this is it, your water trench. We'll still have some cleanup to do anyway, so just bear with us with what you're seeing now. It's all mixed up right now because we've not stocked, no activity as at now, but all of this will be cleaned out before we commence the stocking. So you can see at this end, we have a funnel here, taking the water down and distributing it out. So that is what it is. So pretty much this is it. We just want to say thank you, of course. When it gets to this part of the video, sometimes I'm short of words to say the last part of the video. So as usual, I want to say thank you. God bless you, and make sure you don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to click on that bell icon so whenever we upload more videos you can get a notification. And also don't forget to stay safe and always be good. Thank you, God bless you, and bye bye.